Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Think Clinical podcast. My name is Hamza. It's amazing to be here. Thank you so much for all you do for us. We really do appreciate all the support you've given us over the period. We will be continuing our episode today from what we did last week, which is just how healthcare entrepreneurship and healthcare innovation has evolved over the period. And if you remember last week from what we discussed, we talked about how it was very limited to a small number of players, which included those big pharma companies, the medical manufacturing companies, the hospitals. It included these, and how it evolved in the 90s to the small biotech and medtech companies, which evolved eventually to all the digital health spaces and the use of AI and all the different things that we've seen. So today we are going to be looking at the present day. Where are we now? What is going on now? And we cannot talk about healthcare entrepreneurship and healthcare innovation in present time without referencing the COVID-19 pandemic, because this has been one of the biggest influences in the healthcare innovation space. Products that have been in the market for a long time, ideas that have been in the market for a long time, things that people never paid attention to in the past suddenly became relevant and became the solution that they've been looking for a long time when the COVID-19 pandemic happened. So we cannot talk about the present time and where healthcare innovation and entrepreneurship is without referencing the impact of COVID-19 in the adoption of some of these innovations, in the development of some of these innovations. We cannot even emphasize any of that without mentioning this. The first thing that actually went that gained the earliest acceptance because of COVID-19 was telehealth and virtual consultation platforms. So as I always say in my previous podcast, I had started mine way back in 2014. The market wasn't ready for it. Obviously the timing was wrong, and I've spoken about timing and the impact of timing in previous episodes. So I could never get through into a space where I was able to see the whole idea develop fully. But with COVID-19, telehealth platforms, virtual healthcare platforms that were already in the system gained a lot of traction. Teledoc is one of those. Now, once that was happening, AI and data-driven healthcare became an item too. So there was now a lot of traction that was being seen in the space of AI, and just the potential it has, the impact it has, especially in drug development. If we took a look at AI-driven discovery companies like Insilico, they have raised millions they've raised millions of dollars to be able to develop this platform that uses machine learning algorithms to help in drug development process, so to speed up the process of drug development, which is where we are going in the future. Mental health in present time is gaining a lot of attention, it's gaining a lot of traction, and mental health platforms is becoming a place where healthcare entrepreneurs are thriving now. Better Health is one of them. You have Talkspace, which are mental health platforms that people have leveraged and people are using effectively to be able to offer mental health services. We've also seen a huge shift from value-based to value-based healthcare, from fee-for-service, where now that is beginning to draw attention of people in present time as we go on. So when we look at all these things put together, how does 2025 look like? What should you as a healthcare entrepreneur be focusing on in the next coming year? What are some of the things, looking at where we've come from in the healthcare entrepreneurship and innovation space? What are some of the things that you will need to be thinking about and developing around to be able to be relevant in the coming year? One, we have personalized and precision medicine. Now we have companies like 23andMe who are doing a lot of work in genetics. Now healthcare is increasingly being driven by personalized medicine, where treatments and therapies are tailored towards people's genetics. Now, they look at genetics, you look at lifestyle, look at environmental makeup, and you tailor a treatment towards that. So if you're a healthcare innovator or an entrepreneur, these are some of the things that you need to be looking at. We are going to be seeing a rise in AI and automation. Now, in 2025, so we've gotten past that stage where the acceptance of AI in our healthcare space is becoming a problem. It's no longer a problem. People are beginning to understand the importance of AI in the healthcare space. People are beginning to integrate AI in the healthcare space. I have seen this in medical platforms. I've seen this on dental platforms. I've seen this in medical imaging platforms. I have seen this in so many different ways. And they've increased disease detection. They've increased accuracy of treatments that have been offered. They've increased the reliability that patients should have on whatever they hear back from their providers. So it's going to be integrated. So if you can come up with any idea, or any idea that you work around should be centered around how to develop AI platforms that can be integrated into healthcare. The third thing is in the space of wearable devices. Now, people are increasingly getting to a point where they do not want to spend all their money and all their time in hospitals on readmissions and all those things, especially people with chronic diseases. And it's becoming essential that their ability to monitor their diseases remotely or at home with these wearable devices is gaining a lot of traction. People would rather look at a wrist wearable device on the wrist and be able to tell if their blood pressure or their pulse is fine, or whatever they could be looking at. This is gaining a lot of traction, and this is something that would need a lot of information before you be able to innovate around these ideas. Blockchain. So healthcare security is becoming an issue, and people are beginning to look at the space of blockchain as an alternative, as a solution to all the security issues that they have. So this is going to be something that we need to pay attention to in the coming years. So as a healthcare entrepreneur, as we move into the new year, there are certain things that you need to pay attention to, and you need to keep yourself in that space. You cannot survive as a healthcare entrepreneur in the coming year if you're not tech savvy, because with all the things I've mentioned, you notice that everything is moving away and moving into the digital tech space of healthcare. The second thing that you can never take for granted is that anything you focus on, you should focus on scalability. If your solutions that you provide are not scalable, you are going to have a problem in the coming year. The third thing that you need to focus on is that regardless of your innovative solution, regardless of whatever you're thinking about, it should be patient-centered, because people are increasingly becoming aware, and they're increasingly paying more attention to items that are patient-centered, that are centered on their health. These are things that we need to be looking at as a group. Please, I've said this in previous podcasts, and I'll say this in again. Keep an eye out for regulation, because the moment you stay outside, and these regulatory stuff are going to keep evolving, because they are beginning to understand that things are changing, things are going on. You need to keep your eye out for all the regulatory changes that are going to be happening, so that you stay within regulations, because one of the things that can destroy your business before it starts is regulation. It's when you start flattening on the regulatory rules. This has been another episode. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't shared this video before, do that for the first time, and like, and we will see you in our next episode.